So, this is not something I'm very happy about talking. I'm actually kind of nervous. Okay, so I'm just showing my face. I'm going to get off camera because I haven't had very much sleep lately, as per usual. So, anyway, I'm just going to make this quick. So, the volcano, I don't even remember what video it was. I don't care. It's just, so much is coming in. I can't repeat anything. The earthquake and volcanic action, because I was getting earth in the south. Okay, Malkuth. Okay, so. And that drawing that I shared from a kid that had left that in there in the restaurant. There was no kids in there. Nobody came out when we went. So it was just already in there from that day. Apparently, or whatever, before we had been there. So, and then the next day, or whenever it was, I think it was the next day. Usually it's 3 days later or within 3 days later, but I think I can't remember the time period, but I know like the next day I was like, or after the fact, after that chalk drawing, and feeling that buzzing, like vertigo feeling that I feel when an earthquake is coming. And it's really just scientific, like clairsentient is just like a very sensitive instrument that picks up on stuff. So it's just, and that's what clair means, is just clear. So it's just simple. It's just as simple as that. Nothing too deep there, but so God was putting it in my mind, dormant volcanoes, because of what happened in Mexico, and in combination with this feeling that I was getting of people being obstinate. That's why I did a video about obstinance. I felt that coming in. And I was just like, and you hear about people who they're told a flood's coming or whatever, or fire, and to evacuate, and they don't. They're being stubborn and obstinate, and I'm, I deal with that with my son a lot. So, I'm building my vocabulary with these words, because stubborn, loses its appeal. I like to, expand the nomenclature when I'm learning about something like obstinance, being stubborn, being willful, your own personal will, not taking into consideration the will of others, the will of the earth, God's will, the most important one, which is the one that I'm coalesced with. So I'm like kind of shaking because I don't want to talk about this, but through all these synchronicities, and I'm like, God, you need to give me something more. I'm looking on here and I'm like, okay, I guess I'll look. I'm just kind of tired, so I don't really want to like look at letters and numbers. To just, watchmen, dreamers, prophets, whatever, we just gets poured on us. And but I told God, whatever, if I don't get any sleep, use me for whatever. If you got to give me dreams, you got to tell. This is the stuff I don't want to talk about, and I'll see if God gives me the final green light on sharing this. I might just delete it or not share it, or just hold on to it for, I don't know, to get more confirmation. But if more things unfold, I will share it. So, okay, so I just had to minimize that so I can look at this page here. So I looked up, I'm sorry if my voice is cracking because I'm kind of don't really want to talk about this, but I've been doing a lot of praying and crying and just praying for the people in these areas. But so I go, how did I search it? Let me go back so I can see, and I'll put the links below so you can do the trail of breadcrumbs yourself. And if you're so inclined, if you're interested in doing that. So, okay, so I typed in I think it was, oh my gosh, about 111000 results. I should have my phone right here so I could show you this at the same time, but I'm not techie. I don't have the program to do that. My brain, okay, it hurts. I don't even have the inclination, even if I have the, okay, so, so, my goodness. 111,000 search results. It says right, when you type in Google something, the first little line there in gray before any of the first one is usually like a advertisement or something. Okay, so about 111,000 results. 111000. Of course, right? So I type in dormant volcanoes near Mexico City first. And then from whatever those results are, this name sticks out. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to pronounce this properly. Iztaccíhuatl. Okay, so Iztaccíhuatl is a volcano. And that's just more confirmation when I saw that 111 that gave me chills. I'm like, God, I just said God needs to give me more confirmation. Oh my Lord. Lord Jesus is coming. I just know it in my bones. Okay. So I just go to the Wikipedia. Iztaccíhuatl, and it's Iztaccíhuatl. I'll put the link below. So it's just the Iztaccíhuatl Wikipedia. Click on it. I'm looking around. I'm like, okay. So let me just tell you the story of it first. Oh, and recently, just as I talk to myself and walk around the house prophesying, talking to God, whatever, screaming at us, right? Us, mankind, the devils and demons, and but yeah, I don't really scream at them too much. I really just, these days it's more just like, you big dummy. Like when your brother's just being dumb and steals dad's money and then gets his butt whooped, and you're just like, duh, what'd you think was gonna happen, you big dummy? Like, okay, so that's how I feel about Lucifer and all his little brainless followers who can't think for themselves, and as above so below, and I see it all over on earth and mankind. So we're trying to get people to think for themselves again and break free from all this so they can reconnect with God. So that's part of, this is my little slice of the pie that God wants me to add, apparently. So I was getting, she'll be riding 6 white horses when she comes. And I went, because when I saw that, I think I shared it in a video, when I saw a cloud coming back from a walk, and it wasn't like huge, it was just a portion, but it was very detailed in comparison, and very white in comparison to the, in comparison to the rest of the clouds around it. And it looked like a white horse, like up on its hind legs, like rearing up or whatever that's called, popping a wheelie. And then it shifted quickly into a dragon, still white. So later on, when I came home, I'm like, she'll be riding 6 white horses when she comes, because I remember that from preschool, and I always pictured, for whatever reason, probably because white horses and so I just pictured a white woman, and I always saw like a short, kind of stocky white woman with short kind of hair, like dirty blonde hair, like, and dirty blonde kind of colored skin, just like kind of like me looking, but lighter hair and like skin that had a little bit more sun on it, because I don't even like to be outside when it's just it's all gray where the sun is right now, and they've been spraying, not too bad today, but on, was it the 24th, what's today, A couple days ago there it was bad, but they've still been spraying. And the sky's staying light pink, and then it's all white before the sun even comes up over it. Anyway, let's get back to Iztaccíhuatl. So Iztaccíhuatl. So I'm thinking, okay, she'll be riding 6 white horses when she comes, but I'm like, but wait, the 4, and I don't know all this stuff. Okay, but the 4 horses, I know they're different colors, and there's a white one that supposedly Jesus is supposed to be on that one, and I'm like, but wait, she'll be riding 6 white horses when she comes, but wait, that's 6, and that's the she. So why is that popping in my head? So, and this has to do with the twin flame thing too, because it mentioned the mun and the soon. Monsoon, the mun and the soon. I was gonna say the sun and the moon, and I said the mon and the monsoon. Oh Lord, please don't tell me. I just want Jesus to come, and any suffering that has to be done, just get it over quick. Band-aid, right off, whatever. I know what I've been told and shown and what my job is, but even if whatever, it's still up to God. And if my head's supposed to be sliced off, then so be it. That's why God has been building our tolerance to pain, like that Jean-Claude Van Damme stuff where they break all his tendons and numb his shins and stuff. Anyway, so I'm on the Wikipedia. I'm looking over here. I'm like, okay, God, I looked at this already. You got to show me something that's, gives me confirmation on here, because I don't want to keep looking all these other places and this website. I'm tired, right? So I've been getting like synchronicities with the numbers and stuff lately, and the words highlighted in blue. So I go down to the bottom. I'm like, okay, this page was last edited on April 17th, 2017 at 14:05, which would be 2:05, right? So April 17th. So that's okay. So this year. Okay. So there's the 17. And I go up to, that's at the very bottom where it says last edited. Okay, this page was last edited. I go up to the notes section. So when you're getting near the bottom of the page on Wikipedia, it has some dates here. There's only 6 notes here. Okay, so the first date is 6/17, and it's 2009. So that's June 17th. Okay, then they have another one. That's March 17th. Okay, so already there's 3 17s. The elevation of this mountain is 17,000 yada yada yada. Okay, that's Yiddish for an ellipse. And then so there's, in this notes section, there's June 17th, March 17th, and then I see a 6/22, 2010. So there's a 22. And then I look at the very bottom one, the 6th one. She'll be riding 6 white horses when she comes. The 6th note says the date of it retrieved February 22nd, 2009. So that's 222. So the only dates on here that aren't 17 or 22, 222, 222. I gotta learn some ballet with all these tutus. Anyway, yeah, I'm like, all these chemtrails lately been having like rainy. My nose has been raining, but not ruling, like not raining in a good way. And my throat's like crackling. Same with my son. Like we have colds, but we don't. There's no like pain or anything like that. It's just like runny eye, runny nose, watery, like just water, drippy, and then a dry, really thirsty, like dry mouth and itchy, dry throat. Like just a dry, irritated throat. But not sore or painful. Like I said, no pressure or anything like that. It's definitely just the chemtrail stuff. Everybody experiences those symptoms, but they just don't really realize what it is. So the only other date is June 30th. So if it's not a 17 or 22 or 222, okay, the only other day is a 30. And that's another June, so it's another 6. So she'll be riding 6 white horses, and the 6th one is 222. Anyway, so I'm still, I don't know why who's giving me that song. As things unfold, I'll share if I feel it's significant. But so 30 and the 30th of September, it's 555 right now. The 30th of September is in 3 days. Oh, right before I said that it had to be 555, didn't it? Oh, Lord, please. I don't want to escape and get out of here. I just want to get on with it. I have anticipatory anxiety, and I don't. That's why God is. That's how I know it's soon, because God knows me. Even though I'm surprised, I haven't had a panic attack or thrown up or anything. It's just hard to sleep because so much stuff is coming in. It's not that I'm nervous. It's, we have resistance, but we got to do it. Okay, so so I got all the numbers out of the way. Okay, 17s. Okay, and I already was saying, I can't remember what video, but 17 was coming up. Okay. Oh, and 17 reduces to an 8. That's the number of Christ. Okay, 888, and here's 1889 by James. He's the first ascent, the one to climb it. The first ascent. That's very interesting that there's an 88 because it's 1889, so it has 8 right next to 8, and it says first ascent. Okay, like, hello Jesus. And last eruption, Holocene. That's another synchronicity with me personally. Holocentrism. So the little story is, and I think, is that the one that erupted was Popocatépetl. Popocatépetl. You got to get into like a rhythm. Okay. Or then I just sound illiterate. But so let me just get to the meat of it. So this one that I'm talking about is supposed to be the sleeping woman who's dormant. Okay. And her male beloved, Popocatépetl, or Petal, I'm sorry, Popocatépetl, I believe is the one that erupted in Mexico, just with, recently, with the earthquake. So the name Iztaccíhuatl is Nahuatl for white woman, reflecting the 4 individual snow-capped peaks which depict the head, chest, knees, and feet of a sleeping female when seen from east or west. And God was giving me the number 4 in my dream. And it, I guess, I know 4 relates to certain things, but it's like the 4 angels calling 144,000 from the 4 corners of the earth. And then here's 4 on here. The head, the chest, the knees, and the feet. I'm trying to think if that relates to anything I know of. I know, like in astrology, I think the head would be like Aries, with the ram. The chest would be, I would think Leo, the lion. The knees are Capricorn, I believe. The sea goat, and then the feet, I think, is Pisces, the fish. So trying to find the story on here of when he's Okay, so approximately 11,000 years ago. So, and then there was, so all these 11s and 111. Okay, with this other synchronicity. There was an 11 somewhere else. Maybe that was 110 cubic miles. So there's another 11. Where'd the story go? Oh, here's the, okay. So the legend of Popocatépetl and the other one. So this one that I think is not going to be dormant anymore. The divine feminine who's rising. So in Aztec mythology, Iztaccíhuatl, okay, was a princess who fell in love with one of her father's warriors, Popocatépetl. The emperor sent Popocatépetl to war in Oaxaca, promising him Iztaccíhuatl as his wife when he returned. It kind of sounds like this movie, the Tibet movie that I watch every night to fall asleep because it's just familiar, so there's no surprise sounds or this or that to like jar me, so it helps me fall asleep because my mind chatters, so I have to have another chatter. It's like white noise, and so since it's, I've seen it so many times, so it's like white noise, but so that's already kind of sounding like one of the couples in this movie. He was promised if he went and got this man and brought him back dead or alive that he'd be able to marry this woman who, okay, so a lot of what the divine masculine and feminine are healing, okay, and this whole thing of Jesus coming and everything being restored. This is where God led me. So okay, so promising him, I'll just say Istachi. Oh, which reminds me, okay, oh my gosh, okay, so I'll talk about that in a second. So, because I was trying to do the etymology on this, I'm like, how am I going to do they're not going to have anything etymological with Iztaccíhuatl. How am I going to, what word is close to that? And I'm like, Istachi, and I'm like, it'll come, and like Hitachi came right out. So, I mean, obviously, right, sounds just like Hitachi, so I'll share it. This is just more confirmation that I need to share this. But anyway, you can read the legend yourself, but it's just, so when he returned, which Iztaccíhuatl's father presumed he would not. Okay, he presumed he wouldn't return. So Iztaccíhuatl, she was falsely told that her beloved Popocatépetl had died in battle, and believing the news, she died of grief. When Popocatépetl returned to find his love dead, he took her body to a spot outside Tenochtitlan, and I do know that one when I studied Native American art, the tribes in South America and stuff. So Tenochtitlan, and kneeled by her grave. The gods covered them with snow and changed them into mountains. Iztaccíhuatl's mountain is called White Woman, from the Nahuatl Iztac, white, and Chihuatl, woman. Okay, so because it resembles a woman lying on her back and is often covered with snow, the peak is sometimes nicknamed La Mujer Dormida. So La Mujer means woman or lady, and Dormida is sleeping. Dormir is to sleep. And it says right here, the sleeping woman. So this Popocatépetl became an active volcano, raining fire on earth in blind rage at the loss of his beloved. Yeah, because God doesn't like what's being done to his children with what the devil and his minions have done with influence and, okay. And the trick of the original sin in the Garden of Eden, yeah, our sin was to not listen to God first and foremost. But the only reason, and I'm not giving Adam and Eve any slack, but the only reason they listened to the serpent was because of the way he worded things. He knew how to trick us, because he knows that we want to find more and more truth, because that we're children of God. We want, and I mean the Gentiles and everybody. Okay, we're of God. If you want to be of God, you are of God. Okay, so through Jesus, it has to be through. That's the only way. That's how it happened to me. That's how it happened to so many people. Jesus comes to you first. That's the way. Okay. It's like God's angry. He sees what's happening to the earth, all the animals, the water, the air, everything, all his creation. Okay, so the humans are his creation. The air, the water, the light, the sunlight's being blocked out. I mean, they're blocking God in every way they can. So the only reason that original sin in the Bible, and okay, it's metaphysical too, and there's literal and metaphysical stuff, and it's been, the only thing that's incorruptible is God, so we have to remember that. So we'll just be fundamental about that and not mention all the things that he's not, just say the thing that he is, incorruptible. And we don't have to say that the Bible is corruptible and people are corruptible. We could just say that God is incorruptible and everything else is corruptible. So I guess hence why the earth and everything can be corrupted. You know, God's creation. God can't be corrupted, but I guess his creation can be. So, but our original sin was because we wanted more truth, because the devil said, God just doesn't want you to eat this because he doesn't want you to know the truth and see the whole truth, you know. And so that's what tricked us, and that's the only way the devil could. It's like, it's always, you know, God wants us to feel good. God wants us to make love with our beloved, the one that he chooses for us. God wants us to have children. God wants us to do these beautiful things. Like he says, the yoke is easy. And that's why we can be so easily manipulated by the devil, because we are gullible and naive and trusting and loving and just want more and more truth, because that brings us closer and closer to God. So God understands our heart and knows that this is why we've failed, and you know, and we can call it sin, okay? Drugs, sex, all that. But the core, the core of that is we want to feel good. We don't want to feel pain and all this in this wicked world, right? So we want to escape it's natural reaction. It's not good and it's not God's way, but it's a natural human reaction to all of this, okay? Having sex, wanting to do drugs, eat food, any kind of escapist behavior, because we want to get out of this wicked world. This is why we're so excited for Jesus to come. Oh, my leg is completely asleep and totally numb. I have no feeling in my left leg right now. So anyway, I got off tangent a little bit there, but I guess my point is for us to be more tenderhearted and patient with ourselves, with each other, more compassionate, more understanding, seeing things through God's eyes, including ourselves, okay? So know that we're not worthy. I keep saying that every day. I'm like, God, we're not even worthy of your grace. How awesome is our God that we're not even worthy of this grace. We have disgraced God, but he just keeps giving us grace. It's like, my guts hurt for God, you know? That's how close I feel. It's just family. It wasn't always like that, but you know, as you work through the Jesus, the Holy Spirit, then you get to this oneness with God, and you have that single eye vision. Oh my gosh, which is another thing on this package I saw. This brand name that I saw was called, what was it? Coronova. So Coronova. So Kronova. So like corona, that's like a crown. Okay, and ova, I kept seeing that on license plates, OOVU, and then the numbers are UVU, or just like these ovu, ovum kind of words, okay? So, excuse me, and so coronova is the crowning of the ova, the crowning of the divine feminine, but she first has to arise and awaken. And it's a big energy, so I think there's going to be a lot of disturbance in the earth when she does that. And I'm just being guided that it's going to be this one that's been dormant for a long time, because this is what I'm saying. People get used to like, oh, that volcano's been dormant for so long. And for whatever reasons, we want to be on the coastline. We want to be, because it has energies, I guess, next to volcanoes, next to these but it's like we want to be in these, I think God put me in a safe zone, just like bedrock, but I mean, these are the Sierra Nevadas. I think those are, yeah, Mount St. Helena. That's quite a bit a ways from here, but that erupted not too long ago. But you know, we take God for granted, so it's just as above, so below. So down here we take for granted that just because of all, I mean, supposedly, according to Wikipedia, it's since the Holocene, which was, you know, however many years ago was the last time it was active, but, you know, thousands of years ago. That doesn't mean that just because God hasn't done something for thousands of years that he can't just go and just do it like that. So, I'm not saying this is going to happen. I don't predict stuff. I just report. I don't add to, I don't take away, and I try to catch up if anything important unfolds in addition to this. But it's hard for me to do that sometimes because so much is coming in. It's hard to get back to things. But I think I covered everything that I wanted to say with that. Oh yeah, one more thing. Thank you, angels. Archangel Michael always has my back. And Gabriel and Raphael, those four angels, and Uriel. Those are like, that's the team. Those four constants. That's funny because I see four consonants. I saw the word constant. So very interesting. Hitachi, it says 7 letters, 3 vowels, 4 consonants. So already those numbers, because 3 is Christ consciousness, 7 is the perfect number of divinity, that's God's number, 4 is the number of earth, the angels. So I go to Hitachi. Okay, because I was trying to do look this up etymologically, so I'm going to look up the etymology. I'm like, what word am I going to use? So Hitachi is the only one that I could think that it might pop something up. So I go to the Yes, lowercase e, like for English. It's like let's see. So I type in Hitachi etymology, and I go down to the fifth one. It's usually third one on the third page. Okay, so the fifth one, or fives. And fives have been all over lately because it's the age of grace that we're living in. Thank the Lord. So Yes is the website. I'll put the link down there in the box down there. And I go to, they have the English etymology, and then the next section they have the English proper noun, and they have 3 listed under that. And the second one, get this, and God gave me the name Barak from a random pool in the Bible. The only dream I've ever had about Barack Obama was I was sitting in a classroom, and he was kind of like um, kind of like embarrassed, humiliated a little bit in front of people because he was like, I thought I thought you were gonna bring this something, because he asked his wife Michelle to bring something and she came back without it. He came back and sat down and was just like, nah, like giving him the evil eye, and it like embarrassed him or something. I don't know. That's the only dream I've ever had about them. Never asked to have a dream or confirmation about. I just am given stuff. I don't really ask for. Very rarely have I ever asked for like a vision or if I want to know where I came from, like, am I one of the 144? Am I? But it just okay. So he's flooded me with that. So this is the only other time so that was from a random pool, and I shared that in a video, I think. I can't remember what verse, but it was like, oh God, I know who I am, and what you've shown me is true, and I've had so much confirmation on top of confirmation on top of confirmation. And so I randomly pulled open, and it mentions Heber, Zebulon, Isaiah. So, and the Barak. Okay, so this is the only other time that I came across Barak, and like I said, that's the only dream I ever had about Barack Obama. Okay, so, and I'm not a YouTuber like that, so I'm not all into aliens or this or that. I just go with what God gives me, and I usually don't go on a trail of breadcrumbs through YouTube when God gives me stuff. That's just because we're all in solitude and trying to connect. So, okay, so under English proper noun section, okay, and I'll put the link so you know this is just where I'm pulling it from. So there's 3 of them. The second one, number 2, says Hitachi, a city in Ibaraki Prefecture. Ibaraki. Oh my God, and Ibarra. That just reminded me of when I was in elementary school, one of the teachers, Miss Ibarra. Ibaraki. Ibaraki. Okay, so Hitachi, this mountain, led me to Baraki. Oh, and that's another thing. When I looked up Mexico City on the just regular Google map, Coalcatol or something like that, I already had a synchronicity with that in Three Rivers Hill, in that area in Guatemala that had, like, I'm not saying it right, but Coacatal or something like that. Something with like coal, okay? And I'm thinking, okay, the Dark Mother, the magma, the earth, okay? And this place on the map near Mexico City, I saw that same town. I'm like, but this isn't the same area. So I was like, okay, well, that was interesting, a synchronicity with the, okay, but maybe that had to do with this, and because that never really went anywhere. It did give me some synchronicities, like the twin flame stuff, but it wasn't like, it didn't feel profound. It was just like, okay, that was cool, you know. It wasn't guiding me to anything in particular. It was just like a confirmation. But I saw a town right near there, right where this mountain, this volcanic mountain, this twin flame mountain, right where Mexico City, okay, so the town was called Mecca, and I was thinking like America, North America, South America, America, a Mecca. So if you like took out the Mary in America. So I was just playing around with it. I still am not sure, but Mecca, America. Okay, worshiping the beast, Mecca, the Muslim, okay. I'm not saying Muslim people are bad. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying these are the connections my brain's, okay, this is just how it's flowing out, so I'm reporting it to you how my brain is trying to make connections, okay? So I see a Mecca, and I'm thinking Because I've just seen things where the Catholics, the Muslims, and the Jews, all the Greek mythology, they all worship the beast and stuff, and I've had dreams that confirm that, okay, and I've shared it on my channel, and I just recently shared it again. So in the gospel, people that were across the street, dividing line, asphalt street, yellow line in it, we're out in the sunshine, out of the house. Everybody else was all in the New Age community. Yeah, they were all in the house in the dark, all doing their thing. They didn't have the light of God. The only ones that did were the ones sitting in the circle, quietly talking in the sun, and just a few of us, just like maybe five, six, just enough to sit in a little powwow. And we were just discussing the gospel. So this is how I know it's the one and true, not religion, just way, okay? Way of living, way of being, thinking, feel, okay. So anyway, there's Baraki, okay? There's Barak again. So the Mecca, okay, America, North America, South America, Mecca. So that's pretty much what we've been doing, right? We've been worshiping ourselves, the root chakra, money, there's all this, South America, not as bad as North America, obviously. The United States, we were supposed to be leaders or what, I don't know, but we obviously, if people were looking to us as the way to be and not Jesus, that's not America's fault. But it is our fault because it's like the devil influencing people and we commit sin, yes, but we weren't the ones who were trying to get people to be bad, okay? So there is a difference. So, anyway, what I'm saying is Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. That's the only way, and I just keep praying for everyone who wants to be obstinate, who wants to be stubborn, who wants to be defiant, who wants to be rebellious, who wants to be anything other than walking with Jesus in these days. I'm praying for you. I'm praying for your soul. I'm praying for your salvation. I keep praying that Jesus just does what he does, that he has done with me and many others. Just go to them in their dreams, just astonish them with the how these dreams, pray that, give them one of these dreams that they jump up, right, gasping, crying, shaking, running into outside, whatever. They don't, like I did when I was in New Mexico. I ran out into the living room and I didn't even have my clothes. Well, I had my shirt on and I'm in my underwear, but I like to be covered up when I'm around my dad. It's my dad, but still, my dad and his 8 dogs or whatever. But I just all the dreams I had out there, all that awakening, Jesus coming to me, everything happened that 5 months that I was in New Mexico. The apocalypse dreams, all the connections with things were just starting to come in, but other things were connecting from way back from when I was 3, when I had the dream of the big red whatever it was in the sky, and then the sky that kind of matched the color of that, and the water was black, and I was just on a raft with my mom, and it was still, wasn't cold, wasn't hot, it was just me and her. And I just remember thinking, you're my mom, but I know you're not my mom. Just knowing that I came from something beyond my fleshly, earthly parents. So, and now all these things are coming back, all these dots connecting, and right when you think no more could possibly come in, it's this Watchmen stuff that's coming in lately, and it's making, this is the stuff that I don't like to talk about, that makes me not be able to sleep. When it was the twin flame stuff, a lot of times I wouldn't want to share it because I'm like, I don't want to get people's hopes up, and then they get let down because they don't understand this. And I actually didn't even really truly understand, you know, and I still don't all the way, but I kind of think I have a better understanding as each day progresses, and right as we progress and grow, and uh, we learn why God put us through certain things and why He took certain things away, and so that's what helps us to surrender more fully and trust that, because He always gets us through it all. And then you get the gifts and the rewards that go along with. It's like you don't have to do works to get. It's like, but we love God so much, we want to just understand Him more and get closer to Him, and so it's like, what are the tasks I got to do to get to the next level, to get the next like the Boy Scout badge. You get you this badge and you're that badge and you're whatever. And you want to do all these things because it's like your tool bag for life. And these are the most important ones because they're from God. So, okay, so I'm done. I'm gonna put that in these links, Hitachi, so you can just read for yourself. Not that I need to prove anything, but if I really encourage people to do their own research. Go to God with everything. Yeah, so Wikipedia, and then this, just looking up Hitachi, and then how that just confirmed this Barak thing. And like I said, Mecca and the volcano. Anyway, so I'm like all over the place. I hope I made a little bit of sense somewhere. Maybe if you guys are really good editors, you can chop it up in a way that it'll make sense. And maybe you could maybe even make it funny, because my sense of humor is strained lately these days as well. Not that I am trying to be funny, but my mind's like preoccupied. Like I feel like I'm out of this world a little bit already. Like straddling two worlds, kind of. Not straddling any fences. I know where I stand as far as where I'm going. Ultimately, I know where I'm going, but as far as that's the ultimate destination, and I know that's where I'm going to be ultimately. But as far as God's plans for me until then, He might have me down here. He might have me go back and forth. Who knows? He might want me to experience getting my head sliced off, so I can have that experience, so I can come back and help people who are getting their head sliced off. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe none of that'll happen. I don't know. I'm just sharing what I've been shown, and not even, yeah, it's not even interesting, but I just want to get this off my mind, so maybe I'll be able to sleep tonight. So, and I really don't feel like if it does happen, this thing erupting in possibly 3 days, because the only other number was a 30, so not that anyone's going to take my heat. They don't listen to the news. They won't get out of their obstinate. They won't listen to God. I'm not trying to get Him to listen to me. I'm just trying to get some sleep. So now I can get some sleep tonight. I got this off my mind. And it keeps coming back every time I'm trying to do something. I can't focus. I can't. Okay, so now I'm going to go do the dishes and stuff. Yeah, even though the end of the world's coming, I still got dishes to do. If it was just me, I wouldn't even have any dishes, actually, if it was just me. But, okay. All right. I love you guys. God bless you. Peace be upon you all. And stay strong and stay ready.